So, here you go. Casserole Boy is at it again. Casserole Boy is running cover for civilly liable rapist Conor McGregor. Casserole Boy, not only is he a Zionist, not only is he a Nazi, but Casserole Boy is a pervert. And the ACP, which we'll get to in a second, is literally, allegedly funded by human trafficker Andrew Tate. You can't make this up. We know Jackson Hinkle is allegedly funded by human trafficker Andrew Tate. We'll get to that. But we're going to start out with Conor McGregor and the fact that Casserole Boy is literally running cover for a civilly liable rapist, Conor McGregor. Now, this is an article from ESPN, November 22, 2024, 12:11 p.m. Eastern Time. It's by Brett Okamoto, and it says, a jury ruled in favor of a woman who accused Conor McGregor of sexually assaulting her in a hotel room in December 2018. Now, December 2018 was 2 months after McGregor tapped like chicken against Khabib, right? He tapped like chicken. There's Khabib. Khabib just submitted McGregor by rear naked choke. McGregor tapped like chicken, right? So the High Court in Dublin ordered McGregor to pay the complainant 248,000 euros, around $257,000 US dollars, right? So the jury had deliberated on the case since Thursday. McGregor, who denied the accusations, said he had consensual sex with the accuser, who is not currently facing any criminal charges from the incident. Again, McGregor should be in prison. According to Irish national broadcaster RTE, the woman told High Court she met McGregor at a Christmas party in Dublin. She accused the former two-weight UFC champion of forcing her onto a bed, choking her, and making her fear for her life. A paramedic who treated the woman's injuries in the next morning told the courtroom he had never seen such intense bruising on a victim, according to BBC News. The woman's lawyer, John Gordon, said she never pretended to be a saint and had gone out looking for a good time that ended up turning into a nightmare. Gordon said McGregor was angry about a fight he had lost in Las Vegas 2 months earlier and took it out on his client. The fight in question is this fight. Conor McGregor hyped it up, talking all sorts of trash about Khabib, making all kind of racist comments. Again, here we have an article from Al Jazeera. Khabib on UFC McGregor brawl. He talked about my religion, right? And even before, so at this fight, after the fight, there was a brawl between the two corners, right? One of the biggest fights in mixed martial arts history descended into a chaotic mass brawl, and this is from 7 October 2018. So 7 October it's a day when, Muslims smash Islamophobes. There seems to be a big pattern of that. For those who like noticing patterns, one of the biggest fights in mixed martial arts history descended into a chaotic mass brawl, followed by arrests after Russian Khabib Nurmagomedov retained his UFC lightweight title with a submission victory over Dirty Irishman Conor McGregor in Las Vegas. And yes, I can call him dirty because he is dirty, okay? Violent scenes occurred inside and outside the cage on Saturday night after McGregor tapped out. He tapped like chicken. Tapped out in the fourth round of his comeback UFC bout against the undefeated Muslim champion. Seconds after his win with a rear naked choke, Nurmagomedov climbed over the cage and leaped at the men in McGregor's corner, setting off a prolonged brawl. Mobile phones footage showed the moment Nurmagomedov jumped into the crowd, as well as scuffles between several people and punches being thrown. Meanwhile, two men, apparently from Nurmagomedov's entourage, climbed into the cage and attacked McGregor, who defended himself before security personnel separated everyone. Order was restored with no apparent serious injuries, and both fighters were escorted from the arena by police, but the scuffles tainted one of the biggest and most lucrative shows in UFC history. Organizers refused to give Khabib his belt in the ring to avoid inciting the crowd further. So, and there was bad blood leading up to this. The pre-fight mood between the two camps was extremely hostile. McGregor pleaded guilty as part of a plea deal with prosecutors to resolve charges over an April melee in which he attacked a bus the Russian was traveling on in New York. The Irishman avoided jail time. And actually, I do have footage of that incident in question. Let's play this footage. So, the day McGregor attacked the bus, how those who were there remember it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So there you go.
Connor. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
So, and what does Dana White have to say? Again, this is all from ESPN. I hate advertisements.
What happened here today is Connor and approximately 20 guys apparently were let in through the doors by the MacLife guys who were credentialed here. They opened the doors for them through an entrance. They stormed the building, got down to the loading docks where the fighters were getting on the buses and started to attack the buses, throwing trash cans and dollies and things like that. Broke one of the windows and cut Michael Chiesa really bad. He cut his head, he cut his face. Rose Namajunas apparently was almost hit. She's super upset right now and basically left and walked back to the hotel. And hurt one of our employees, broke one of our employees' knuckles, and other injuries, and obviously everybody's shaken up when 30 thugs storm these guys are all cutting weight and getting ready for a fight. This is the most disgusting thing that has ever happened in the history of the company. And there is a warrant out for Conor McGregor's arrest, and they're looking for him right now. His plane cannot take off. He cannot leave the state of New York with this warrant. He'll be grounded, and I'm assuming eventually, if they don't catch him, he'll turn himself in. You can imagine he's going to be sued beyond belief, and this was a real bad career move for him.
So there you go.
And my progressive rep was super helpful.
Tell me.
So, leading up to the fight, McGregor threw a dolly at the bus, which you saw. And then at the presser, McGregor launched a series of verbal attacks on the Russian, make derogatory remarks about his family, his Muslim faith, and the Dagestan region of his homeland. And he also called the manager of Nurmagomedov, Ali Abdelaziz, a terrorist at the press conference. So let's hear what Khabib had to say about that, about McGregor.
Khabib, congratulations on your victory tonight, but as I'm sure you're aware, the story is really about what happened after the fight, unfortunately. Can you tell us in your words, what caused you to jump over the cage and to go after Conor's team?
What's up, guys? How are you? First of all, I want to say sorry to Athletic Commission, Nevada, sorry to Vegas. I know this is not my best side. This is not my best side. I'm human being, and I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage. What about he talk about my religion? He talk about my country. He talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus. He almost killed couple people. What about this? What about this? Why people talk about I jump over the cage? Why people still talk about this? Like, I don't understand. I am respect. My father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. My old team, where I'm training California 7 years, everybody know who I am. All my friends, like everybody who know me, they know who I am, you know. And I told you guys, these guys, not only him, his whole team and him, they tap machines. You know, I told you guys, when you put him wrong way, you're gonna tap. You know, what happened today? Like, they call him 2-time world champion, like 2 weight classes, but today he tapped. And that's why, alhamdulillah, belt is here, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. And you know, and I wanna say something like, you know, like people little bit, it's not people, I think it's media a little bit changed MMA. This is respect sport, you know. This is not trash talking sport. This is respect. So like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game. I don't want people talk about like opponents, talk about his father, like religion. You cannot talk about religion. You cannot talk about nation. You know, guys, you cannot talk about this stuff. And you know, this is for me is very important. And thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for waiting for me here. I know my father gonna smash when I go home, because I know he's gonna smash me. And Nevada, sorry. Vegas, sorry. And alhamdulillah, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. Thank you so much. And I'm very proud about, like, all media talk about, he take picture with
So, yeah, there you go. So that's kind of the context about what, you know, about Conor McGregor going off the deep end and assaulting a woman. Okay? And it shows you a pattern of Conor McGregor being a bad person, an evil person, right? So John Gordon, the woman's lawyer, said that the woman had never pretended to be a saint and gone out looking for a good time that ended up turning into a nightmare. Gordon said McGregor was angry about a fight he had lost in Vegas 2 months earlier and took it out on his client. He was angry that he tapped like chicken. And actually, we know which fight it is because he's going to talk about it a little bit later in the article. And you can just put 2 and 2 together. So he's not a man, he's a coward, Gordon told jurors. A devious coward, and you should treat him for what he is. The woman had to take several breaks in her emotional testimony. She said McGregor threatened to kill her during the encounter. McGregor put her in a chokehold several times and later told her, now you know how I felt in the octagon where I tapped out 3 times, referring to a UFC fight where he had to admit defeat, she said. The fight in question is when McGregor tapped like chicken, okay? It was the one against Khabib, okay? She said she feared she would die and never see her daughter again. He let me go, and I remember saying I was sorry, as I felt that I did something wrong, and I wanted to reassure him that I wouldn't tell anyone so he wouldn't hurt me again, she said. She said she then let him do what he wanted and he sexually assaulted her. Police investigated the woman's complaint, but prosecutors declined to bring charges, saying there was insufficient evidence and a conviction was unlikely. And it's not just a problem. There's not just a problem with that in Ireland. There's a problem with that in America. When I was assaulted in 2022 by then coworker Brian Gunnels at Fred Meyer, the cops, and it was some incompetent Polish detective. They let him off the hook, right? And saying there was not enough evidence, right? So McGregor said the two had sex that was athletic and vigorous, but not rough. He said she never said no or stopped, and testified that everything she said was a lie. And then, so McGregor alleges that the part about the chokehold was a lie, which, again, we know it was not a lie, because he was found civilly liable. McGregor's lawyer told jurors they had to set aside their animus towards the fighters. Again, typical lawyer crap. Ultimately, the jury of 8 women and 4 men ruled against his version of the event. McGregor released a statement saying that he will appeal. He did not immediately respond for a request to comment. McGregor has not fought since he broke his leg in a TKO loss to Dustin Poirier. In July 2021, he was scheduled for a highly anticipated return against Michael Chandler at UFC 303 in June 2024, but withdrew in the weeks leading up to the event with an injured toe. So again, and since the injury against Poirier, he is 1-3 in his past 4 fights. Going back to 2018 to the Khabib fight where he tapped like chicken. Let's show a picture of McGregor. He tapped like chicken. Right after he tapped like chicken. I'll show you an actual picture of the finish. There's Herb Dean, the referee, stepping in, calling the fight off. There's McGregor. Tapped like chicken. And then there's the actual tap where he tapped like chicken. There's, see, rear naked choke. It's kind of a neck crank, kind of a rear naked choke. He tapped like chicken, right? He tapped like chicken. He's McTapper. Tap like chicken, okay? So then also, McGregor went off the rails again, and 1 month ago used a big racist tweet against Khabib. You guys remember this racist tweet McGregor made against Khabib? Well, he basically followed up this racist tweet saying more racist slurs. Okay. So, yeah. McGregor is a douchebag. And then we have evidence that McGregor is a Zionist. So McGregor is a Zionist. Okay. And what more evidence? Oh. So check this out. ACP. So when shit hits the fan and human trafficker Andrew Tate goes down, remember ACP and Jackson Hinkle were with him 100% of the time. Follow the money. Ali Hamoud, aka Haas, admits that Jackson Hinkle is funding ACP. Jackson Hinkle is likely, allegedly, funded by human trafficker Andrew Tate. Is Andrew Tate indirectly funding ACP? Kyle Pettis, referencing a failed attempt at gaining funding from Fergie Chambers in a meeting in Tunisia. Why are these guys going over to Tunisia for a meeting? Is it because Tate might be banned from the USA? So here you go. Haas at 1413 says, so we will, trust me, Jackson's a new player. Jackson's building resources, not enough for what we need in total, but he will never cover event stuff from what I'm told. So don't worry about that for now. Kyle Pettis, 1414. Tunisia still may bear fruit. Haas, exactly. We will have the money. It is desired. One way or another. 1415. Kyle Pettis. Additionally, if Saturn is uncovered as an agent, we instantly have it huge. 1415. Christian. This is an important factor. Then you have, and we're going to do a whole video about Alex Jordan Diller. We're going to do a whole video about him. ACP member and InfraWiki admin, Alex Jordan Diller, hanging out in a space, a Twitter space, I'm assuming, with high school students, inviting them to meet two-time convicted sex offender Scott Ritter and pervert Caleb Mopstein. So again, this ACP thing, there is a pattern of them normalizing convicted sex offenders and civilly liable rapists. So there you go. It's not looking good for ACP. It looks like they're a cult. It looks like they're fraudulent. It looks like they're Zionists. They're perverts. Not looking good for them. So there you go.